Welcome to Speedy Walkthrough, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. Today we're playing the Oracle of Ages and the Oracle of Seasons. It's a linked Zelda game, and I'll be showing you how to get everything between both games. So you essentially play through both, one after the other, and then you jump back and forth a few times. The linking mechanic can be pretty confusing if you haven't played it before, so I'll break down how that all works, but we'll just start with Oracle of Ages now, and I'm also going to leave which game we're playing in the bottom right corner, just in case you missed the swap. One other thing I'll mention about the linked game is that you don't need any actual physical linking between the games, so you can do this all on emulator just by playing both games if that's how you're playing it. The way the link works is you give secret codes between both games, so you can just enter those in on the other game however you happen to be playing it. There is a link cable option on the real Game Boy, but I'm going to use the codes for this video. Before we get stuck into it, if you find this video useful, consider subscribing to keep up to date. Helps out the channel a whole bunch, and there should be a new walkthrough out each week. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any other games you'd like me to cover. Alright, so we'll make a start. You can play the games in any order you want. I'm going to go Ages, then Seasons. Now the reason for that is Ages is more puzzle based and Seasons is more combat based, and by linking games you get stronger, so you'd want to be stronger for the more combat based game. Start out your file in Ages and then we'll head up. Basically it's got to head up here until we get a cutscene. When that cutscene's over you just go up here to this thing. You can push it to the side just by walking up to it. And then you want to head up and you get this as well. Now you got to talk to people in this order. Once you've talked to enough people, you'll get this cutscene to play. You'll get a few more bits of story here, and then you just go down and talk to this guy. You pick up the sword, and then we can head down a few screens. So with items in this game, you can equip items to the A and B button. Sword is currently on B, and we can just use it to slash through grass and stuff. So a good thing about slashing through grass is you can get some rupees, which you use for currency in this game. So for example there I got the red one, which was worth 5. So keep slashing through grass until you have a few, and then we're going to head up here. Going into the ring shop now. So rings are an interesting mechanic in this game. You can wear one and it'll give you various different abilities. There is like a checklist of all the rings. The rings are the only thing that I'm not going to get all of in this walkthrough, and the reason is you have to play the games back and forth a few times, like even more than twice. But I will be showing you where to get all the unique rings and like what to do to get all the rings. The only ones that I'm not getting in the footage are ones where you have to basically grind for rings that randomly drop. But if you follow this walkthrough, then you should be in a good position to collect up all the rings at the end of the game if you want to go for that. But most people consider it not really worth it as part of 100%. Okay, so we're just going to go up into this house. This is totally optional, this bit. So pretty much what we're going to do is they've got a kid. We can give the kid a name and we can check in on it throughout the game and see how it's going and then influence it in various ways. I will be showing you pretty much all the optional pickups and items and stuff in this walkthrough as just part of 100%. I'm going to go through the tunnel and pop out at this tree here. And once you're ready, you just go over to the right and you see this portal thing. So the whole gimmick of Ages is to swap time periods. So we've just gone back into the past here. You can tell by the more red color palette here. Anyway, head across the bridge and down into this section. You want to talk to this guy. Anyway, he'll eventually let you through. We can head into this bit here. And talk to this guy. And we get a shovel. And you can use the shovel to dig through the sand piles there. Dig through to get our first heart piece, and then we'll go back up. So the way heart pieces work, you get 4 of them and it gives you a higher maximum health. You talk to this seed guy and plant the seed there. So with these seeds, this is what I was talking about with the sort of random ring drops. You can plant these seeds and they'll eventually grow into a tree. It's based on how many enemies you've killed since you planted the seed. And you can pretty much just go back to the tree and get a gasher nut, which is an item that gives you a random drop. And that can often be a ring. So I won't be in this walkthrough just going around getting a whole bunch of trees and then a bunch of rings. But as I'm sure you can imagine, you just go and get the trees here and then you pick up the nuts. I will show you where all the planting spots are. So I'll go and plant all the seeds. Then it would be a matter of playing the game 2 or 3 more times, planting seeds and harvesting the trees to get all the rings. Alright, going back to the right. And we're going into this section here, push the block up and then left. You can take care of these things. And push the blocks in that pattern to get through, we get a chest. And that gives us a key. Right, once we've done that, just heading back to the left there. And push the blocks like so. You can go in here to get rupees, that's a really good amount of money for the start of the game. And push the blocks like so to get through there. Push them up like that. And we can go up the stairs here. And we're actually at that same tree but in the past. So we get a cutscene here. Once that's over, we can just head down and go through the portal there. And go up to the tree in the present. Alright, once you talk to the tree, you'll get this. It has ember seeds. And we can use the shovel to dig through there to get some more rupees. Heading into the shop here, we can pick up a shield. And then we'll head down to this tree. So by hitting these trees here, essentially you can pick up those seeds, but later in the game they'll also act as warp points to different areas of the game. So make sure you just slash down the seeds from all the trees as you see them, and that'll activate the warp points. Use the ember seeds to get through the tree here. You just got to equip them through your pause menu with start. And we can go through here. Burn that and light some torches in here. We get a key. And with that key we can head back out. Open the gate with the key. And then we're going to head down this way and into this section. So this is our first proper dungeon of the game. Just heading there, pushing the blocks. You'll notice the colors on the blocks as they go. So you have to push the blocks exactly how I'm pushing them in there, so they're on the right color when they land in the hole. So you notice me reset the room there to reset the block position. That's going to be quite common. And grabbing the key from the chest up there. And hitting the switch there to activate the chest, and we'll activate the moving platform there too. When you're done, head back out, and we're going to go on this platform here, and up to that switch. So that thing there, this is a gaseous seed. So when we were planting seeds in that soft soil before, these are the things that you plant. So they're pretty valuable items to have around. Alright, heading up through here, you can light both torches with the ember seeds, and we get the power bracelet, so that's another item you can equip, and it lets you pick up heavier objects. So for example here with the pots, you can pick those up, and you just want to push that one by walking into it, pick that one up for the boss key, and we can step into that warp to get back to this section of the dungeon here. Alright, so we come across this guy. So you basically hit him and then his ghost comes out, and then you hit the ghost. Alright, so we'll get a cutscene playing at the end of here. And in this screen, we're going to come across Maple. So Maple will bump into you and drop various things. Maple shows up after you've defeated a certain number of enemies there. So one thing that I'm keen to get from Maple is this magic potion that's dropped. And then sometimes Maple drops rings as well. They're quite good. Anyway, go through there. We can talk to this guy by throwing the boulder out from in front of him and talk to this guy inside. Remember, to throw that boulder out, you need to equip the power bracelet, the thing that I've got on A. And you head down here. And we can plant that gaseous seed that we got just in the dungeon, pick up the rock with the power bracelet, and we'll head back out. Again, you can come back to all these trees at any point you want once they've grown, and then just pick up the item that you get from it. We're going to go into the ring place. Now, this guy praises rings, so as we pick up rings, we don't just get them automatically. You've got to get them appraised like this. And then once you get them appraised, you also have to talk to him and go list, and then you want to put certain rings in your item inventory. Once you've got that though, that's not enough to use the ring. You've then got to go into your item inventory and equip the ring. So it's sort of like 3 stages: appraise, list, and then equip. I'm putting the power ring on, so that'll make us a bit stronger. Alright, just heading down into this forest section here. We got the fairies showing up like that. And we got to find them. And there we go. You can lift up that bit. After the cutscene, just head up a screen and we'll go across here. Alright, hop off this bit, and then we're going to go into this house here, push the statue to the side, and we get that. So we're going to get various instruments that will let us travel through time. So that's our first one there. And then we'll just come back out of this room and we get another cutscene. Alright, so if we play the instrument there, it actually unlocks the time portal. So we're now back in the past, as you can tell by the red. You talk to this guy. So he's going to start off a trading quest. We've got to give that item to various people in the game. And you give the next one to this guy. By the way, if you want, you could get the nut off that tree by slashing it, and that might have a ring in it or something good. Lift up that boulder, and then we're going to go through. Lift that one up too. We're just going to push these like so, and push these, and we get the seed. So whenever you see soft soil, you can plant a seed in there. I'll point out where all those spots are in the game. Get this piece of heart here. And we're going to head down there and grab that boulder. Grab the seeds, and we'll go through. Alright, so there's the guard there. He's just bringing us up to the castle now. Alright, after this cutscene, we'll gain control out the front of the castle, so just head to the left there. Throw a bomb there, which we've now unlocked. And you can knock those guys over with your shield and then attack them. So you got to push the block in this pattern here so it's red when it goes into the hole. And throw a bomb at the right wall there to get the map. Technically you don't need the map if you're following this, but I'm just going to show you where it is for the spirit of 100%ing the items. Alright, going back out here. And we'll go down the steps. Through the door there. And we'll bomb the bottom wall and we'll head through. These guys will try and squash you, so just watch out for them. We'll get the key there by killing all the enemies. If you ever see me killing enemies in a room in a dungeon, that means that we have to kill the enemies. I didn't really kill many optional enemies in this game. It's all stuff you have to kill. Alright, ride the minecart there. And then we're just going to head up there. You'll notice me charging my sword, so I'm holding the sword button. And then Link will do like a spin attack when we let it go. And that does more damage than a normal sword slash. So that's really good for bosses. I've also got the power ring on, which is how I'm getting through the bosses pretty quickly. Grab the feather there. This item will let us jump. So if you like normal platforming controls, put it on the A button. Otherwise it'll feel very weird jumping on B. But we'll just go through there. You can hit the switch there to turn the card around and then bomb the wall. Kill all these guys to get a key. And then we'll head back through, pushing the block in there, making sure it's blue when it's facing up. Alright, jumping on there, and you want to make the tiles match the tiles next to it. Make that one blue. Then we're going to go through. Grab the seed out of the chest, and we can use our item to throw these. And you want to push this one onto the switch. And here we got to push the statues like so. So keep them this same pattern here. And you're wanting to make them match the statues off to the left there. There we go. Once we got that, just through this key door. And if you step on the switch, it'll reveal the enemies that are all over the floor. So you've just got to attack all those to get the key. Through the boss door here. Okay. So we go through this. You can pretty much just throw bombs at him when his head's open. And that's how you deal damage there. And there we go. Just down the ladder here, and we get the item. Alright, after the cutscene, we come out into the overworld. You can jump over holes now in the overworld, now that we got the feather. So we can jump across and get this heart here. And we're going to head up. And if you use your shovel to dig, there was a spot where we can bury the gaseous seed, so do that. Also, there's different sort of rarities with the items that can come out. Different soil plots are different rarities. Usually the ones that are harder to find, like shoveling, for example, have higher rarities, so you can get better items. Okay, heading down here to the tree, grab some more ember seeds, jump across and talk to this guy. Jump back across here. And we're going to play that harp just to activate the warp portal, and that brings us back to the present. So you can talk to the baby again, and the more money you give it, the better outcome. You don't really need to talk to that baby at all for 100%ing. It's just something you can do. Go across here and you'll come across this bear, and you'll end up being able to ride the bear. This helps us access some areas that we couldn't really get to before, like these pits, which there are too many of to jump over. Go through here, just jump over the water, and you want to pull that thing. So that's equipping the power bracelet on B. Go up here and grab that. And then we'll head back up through this section. Now equip your ember seeds and burn the tree. We're going to head up and left. And play the harp to activate that warp portal. And then that brings us back to the past again. Right, when you're ready, head into the town and then down from there. Then go into this house and talk to this person. That's part of our trading quest there. So dig that area with the shovel. We got another bit to plant a gaseous seed. And back up here. I want to activate this warp portal to go back to the present. And go across to the right here. There's a kangaroo. This is similar to the bear thing. Eventually, we're going to have the option to have one of those animals permanently. So I went for the kangaroo in this walkthrough. It doesn't really matter too much. If you want to follow closely, you'll go for the kangaroo. Kangaroo was like the fastest movement option, so I like going fast in these games, so that's why I picked it. Go up here and talk to Tingle. You had to jump and slash his balloon to get him down. Alright, up here to activate the warp portal. And we're going to go back into the past now. So down here, you talk to this guy, and we get the raft. So we can sort of go across the ocean here now. But we're going to encounter a storm when we get up to this screen, and that sends us onto this island stranded. So they take a few of our items, well, pretty much all of our items, so we just got to get them back. So that's the shovel there. We push the boulders there. You want to move that seed under the bit of the wall that looks unique. They'll grow vines when we go back to the present. So into this house, I'm picking up the bracelet. Up through here, we can throw that boulder out of the way and go through the stairs here to get some more items back. Bomb those rocks and we get the seed. Once you've done that, just heading up these stairs and bombing the wall. Okay, so we got to play this game here. So this is throwing the food at these guys. And we have to play it a couple times. So I played it a few more times here. You can get various rupees and you can also get a gaseous seed. So I played up to that gaseous seed and then again for the big rupees. Once you've had enough of this, you can head out. But you'll notice I've got heaps of rupees now after playing that game a few times. Alright, there we go. Talk to this guy. Grab your feather back. You'll notice that you sort of have to trade items there. Alright, throw the bomb up to this wall, jump across. And that guy's got the flippers, so we can swim in the water. Up into this, you want to grab the bracelet back. Once you've done that, head into this cave and we want to dive down there. You can dive with the B button when you're in the water. We'll pop out here and grab the seed satchel back from this guy. Grab your feather back and we'll head down. We can jump across the holes here and swim through this cave. Grab your harp back from that guy and we can jump across. We're going to use the harp here to warp. And you'll talk to this guy there. We've just done a trade with him. And because you pushed all the seeds under the vine spots on the walls, they're going to all grow up and make vines there. So That's sort of the thing with past and present on this place. Okay, hit that tree, you'll get some more seeds, and remember that'll be a warp point when we get the ability to warp around. Go back to the past and you got your shovel there and your power bracelet. Alright, back through this cave again. And you want to activate the warp portal up here. Alright, into this. So this is our next dungeon. So just hit that thing there and then head up. That wheel will rotate you just based on how you come into the room. So we'll be doing a lot of like entering and exiting of rooms to mess with that wheel. Once you put those statues in position, just go back onto the wheel and up through this door, and we're going to fall through this hole. Kill that guy. If you play the harp, the enemies in that room will die, so just keep that in mind. You want to hit that thing and kill that guy to open up the doors. Push the blocks like so, and then we get a key, and we'll head back. Onto this wheel, and then we're actually just going to loop around so that we get to go the other way, up through the room. Do this, you can kill these statues with bombs, that's a pretty good way to do it. This room will have the floor tiles coming to attack you, so you can slash the floor tiles to get them out of the way before they hit you. And then just around this room, and we get some rupees from the chest and we can go up through the locked door. Alright, so this is the seed shooter. It's similar to the seed pouch, only you can use them as projectiles. So if there's things that are far away which you want to set on fire, you can. Back up through this wheel, you want to do a diagonal shot at that crystal. And we get a gaseous seed. Alright, once we got there, down through that wheel, push these blocks through, and you want to do some diagonal shots on the walls to light those two torches. Back through the wheel and we'll go up. And we get a mini boss here. Alright, so basically you've got to equip your shovel to dig him out of the ground and then slash him with your sword. Once you've done that, just heading back through here and left off this wheel and up over the bridge. You want to equip your seed shooter and hit that switch once and then twice. Up through here. Okay, head down through the wheel. We'll go to the right and hit that switch. Basically you're holding the little bouncers in position. Back up through the mini boss room and off to the left. And we've got a boss here. So you want to face away from it and seed shooter off the wall so that it reflects back into the boss, because you've got to be looking away to deal damage to it. Alright, so we'll get a little cutscene at the end. And we come across this guy. So this is one of the other animal buddies that we can get eventually. This one does a lot of swimming. So open up a dirt patch and you can plant the seed there. Seed shooter there, and then we got Tingle. And we grab the bag from him. And then we're going to go up through here. So this is our next Maple encounter. So there we go, got some items. You've got to get the items before Maple gets them as well. Alright, through here we've got a mini game to play. So pretty much the blue blocks are good and the pink blocks are bad, and the statues are really good. So yeah, avoid purple, get blue. Now once you've done that, you get the strange flute from this shop. So we'll head back out and play the harp. Walk back to the present. Off to the left here, I'm going to head down into this forest and grab the chest for some rupees. Heading back up and into this house, so you can talk to this guy. This is part of our trading quest. Anyway, head back down and across here into this house. You want to talk to this person and do more of the trading quest. Use your seed shooter to get across the bridge there. head back. Alright, so we go up, down, up, and we get the kangaroo there. So this is the animal buddy that I've gone for. So now that we have that flute, we can play it to activate this kangaroo anytime. You can see why I like the kangaroo, it just hops around really quickly, makes you move a bit quicker. And the kangaroo can hop up ledges like that. So you want to talk to this guy and then head back down. Now, depending which animal buddy you got, this place will be laid out a bit differently. But if you got the kangaroo, you can just follow this walkthrough directly. Grab the ring from the chest there. And these guys will build the bridge across. I'm going to call the kangaroo again. And there's a soil patch there to plant. Just make sure you shovel out the ground to access that. Right, we're into this town and we get these. So those seeds let us warp around the game. So any trees that we've activated, we can warp to. All right, into this guy. So we're going to trade with him. So we talk to this person on the right there and go into this house on the top and off to the left. Alright, when you're ready, head down and out of the town. I'm going to go up here and press B to dive under the water. Up into this building, we can play the harp there. Alright, so we got our new song there. Alright, so if we activate that new song and play it here, it actually warps us back into the present. So that's sort of our second upgrade to the harp. Eventually we'll get one that lets us warp back and forth anywhere. Alright, so play it there and you warp to the present. Then we get Maple again. So you might get Maple on different screens, it just depends how many enemies you've killed. Activate this warp portal and we're going to go into this bit and back out the cave. You want to push that thing to change the flow of the water and head back down. And we'll play our harp to warp to the present there and we've got access to the vines to get up. I'm going to bomb the water there. To get the upgrade here, you've got to say a regular one. Honesty is the best policy with these guys. Once you get the bomb upgrade, head back out. And you can push this thing to the right and make it grow vines on the right wall now. Up through these stairs. And activate this portal here. You can head back up. And off to the left down these stairs. Play it again. And we're going to go back to the present for a gaseous seed. And then we'll go up here to climb these vines. Alright, once we've done that, into this cave. You talk to this guy. Alright, basically what you got to do is knock these guys into the hole. And it depends how quickly you do it as well. But if we get the nut from there, then we're going to go up through this bit. Put that on the altar. And then we'll play the song to warp back. So we're in the present now. And into this thing, so this is our next sort of dungeon. Okay, heading up through here. Just push the blocks like so. And we're going to push that around so that it lands on blue. When you're ready, off to the right here. And we're going to go through the key door and ride the cart down. Hit the switch on your way back up. So if your carts don't go where you want them to go, make sure your switches are aligned to where I've got my switches, and they should go in the right direction. Alright, jump on these to make them the right colors compared to the thing on the right. And you want to push the block down here so that it's blue. Heading up through here. We're going to jump on this thing here and do a diagonal shot with our seed shooter to get the thing. I'm just going to go and make that blue and then head across to the room. Use your seed shooter on these guys if you want, and then just jump across these things here. Across, making these the same color as the ones above them, and onto this cart now. Alright, jump off the cart and we get a mini boss. So we want to get him to hit himself with his own sword there. And then head down through the door. Bomb the wall up there. And these are those puzzles where you've got to activate each one without stepping on one again. So you can follow that same path I followed through the room. Get that with your hook shot that we've just unlocked. And, well, sort of a hook shot. It'll swap you with the object that you grab. So there's going to be a lot of that used there just to get objects like that on the Switch, for example. And you can cross big gaps with it by swapping with like a pot on the other side or something. Follow this pattern through the floor here. There are probably lots of different patterns that can work, but this is the best one I was able to find. Alright, pull this one and it'll stop the lava flow. And pull this one, same thing. Now with these ones you got to go quick, so you can actually use that shot thing to get across after the lava's gone back. Grab the key from that one there, and we're going to head to the right and shot across the gap there. Through this door on the left. Now you want to grab his eye with the hook shot and then slash him with the sword, and that's how you defeat the boss. Alright, you get your cutscene and come out of the dungeon. We're going to equip the Gale Seeds to warp around. And then that brings us back to this town here. Do a bit of a trade with this guy. We can go and talk to the sun again. That'll move forward that storyline if you want to do that. Activate the warp portal here and we'll warp through. Back in the past, we're just going to head down and left. Play your song here to walk back to the present, and we're going to go into the secret area of the shop where we can buy lots of goodies. So we'll just get the ring box for now. That's all I can afford. If you can get the heart piece, you might as well grab that now as well, but I couldn't afford it quite yet. Alright, talk to this guy. And we get that. Then heading out to the left here. So basically go around killing some enemies now here. So you'll notice that I'm sort of just doing this little thing, killing a bunch of enemies, then warping back, and then rinse and repeat more or less. And by going into the cave, I respawned the enemies too. And by going into the house, you can do the same thing. Alright, now basically the reason I'm doing this is to try and spawn Maple. That only happens after you've killed a certain number of enemies. And the reason we need that is because this is all part of the trading quest, so we have to run into Maple now. So just kill as many enemies as you need to and you'll find Maple and do that trade. Alright, up here, the item that we just got from Maple, we're going to trade into that person. And then we'll progress on. Alright, jump across those gaps. You can use that hookshot thing to get across. And that's another item in our trade quest here. So once you traded that in, we can just play this song to warp back to the present. And then we can warp back to this village here, the symmetry one. And then go to the past. Just going to go down here and off to the left. Activate this warp portal here. Sorry, not the warp portal, you got to warp back to the present, my bad. And then go down the stairs. I'm going to climb the vine here off to the right. And then activate this warp portal. Head through the water here. And then up the vines. Go and talk to this guy. And we're going to play this game again. So you got to hit him in and try and do it under the time limit there. If we do, we get the broken sword into the noble sword, so that's good. It's a little sword upgrade for us. Alright, walk back down to the main town here, and we're going to go and appraise some rings. So similar thing to before, just appraise them and then add them to your list if you want them. I'm pretty much going to keep the power ring for most of the game until I get anything better. But I'm usually one that wants the stronger attacks where possible in these games. Alright, heading back to the left through the town. Try and kill some enemies on your way. Jump across these gaps here, killing more and more enemies. And we'll go through and play the song. And we've got a seed spot to plant back into the main town here. Just going to make our way up and around. Activate the warp portal. And jump across the holes here. Use your hook shot to swap across the gap, and we'll plant a seed there. Go to the present and we'll go around here. If you take the stairs up, we're just going to go around this bit. And then we've got a chest there with some rupees on it. Bond the wall to the right and we get a piece of heart. And we want to go through across this bridge. And we'll play that song and then walk through that bit there. Now, these seeds are pretty good. They're the Pegasus seeds, so they'll basically let you dash if you use them. I'm going to use them to like run really quickly around the game, but that's the first example you actually need it, is that floor. Okay, when you're ready, throwing the bombs back at him. So you're going to do that just a few times. Alright, we'll get a cutscene. Alrighty, once you've had this cutscene, walk back to the past. And we're going to go into this cave, talk to this guy. Give him the flower and you'll blow through the rocks. And then just up here. Go up the stairway and head out. Going to go across the bridge here and play the song. Alright, up these ladders and these platforms. And we get a ring from the box there. And we can head down right through this. That bit's really easy to miss. Bomb through these. And we'll head up the ladder. So this is a combination of using the fast running with the jump and lets you make bigger gaps. And we're into this level. Alright, swap this thing around so that it sits on the button and then we'll head down. You want to hit that switch there. These switches will put different colors up and down. Now just coming back to this room a bit slower, you can shoot that ember seed at an angle and then unlock that to get the key. Alright, heading up through here with the blue blocks down and down through the staircase. Grab that key and head over to the right. I'm going to head down through these stairs. And then light all the torches there. So I'm going to push these blocks like so. And we get the cane. What that cane will do is it'll place a block down, just one block there, so we can hit the fourth switch using that block, for example. Alright, place the blocks here to help us get up. And then we want to hit that switch a few times to make our way to the top of the room. Put the cane there. So these statues, they basically move as you move, so you have to put the cane there to stop them from moving. Back over to the left here now, hitting that switch and down the stairs. Just get across that gap by hitting the switch a few times and we'll come down through here. Okay, now this room here, so yeah, this room has, it's sort of dark and you have to get through with the path. I just like swapping with that guy and then jumping straight up to the chest. And then swapping with this thing to get back out of there. You can use like ember seeds and stuff to light up the room if you want to do it fully. But it's pretty quick to just cheese that room and skip it. Alright, jumping across here. With this guy, you've got to grab that ball and throw it back at him. So make sure you've got the power bracelet on there. Put the cane on there to activate the bridge. We get the compass, and we're going to head up the stairs here. Down this ladder now, and up the stairs. Use the hook thing to get the switch. And up onto these red ones, hit that one there. You can jump back down onto the red ones and walk on top of them, and then go up through here. Up through here as well. Then we'll go down the staircase. Use the cane there to get up. And all the colours will move along with you, so make sure you place the block down into the side of the red one. And just place the blocks as so that we don't get caught out with these. Alright, we get the key. And we'll make our way back up. Hanging across the red ones here, and then down. Alright, grab the chest there with the map in it, and we're going to use the boss key on the door here. Okay, so basically with this boss, you've got to use the cane there and join all the clouds together. So pretty much just joining them into one big blob and then attacking them like so. Alright, grab the item and we're done. Alright, get through a few cutscenes and we'll head out, go into the cave on the right, jump across, and down the stairs, and push the blocks out of your way, and then we'll head up here. I'm going to lift that and then activate the warp portal there to head back to the past, up through here. You talk to that guy and walk back. Go into this cave here and down the stairs, you can activate the bridge and head across. Out through the cave, we've got Maple there. So just go and try and get as many items as you can. And heading up here. Okay, so we have the dance here. So this dance can be pretty tricky to deal with. You pretty much just make sure you ask him for the instructions first and then follow the movements that he's doing. Go through the dance a bit. I'm actually going to dance again. Do it at gold level. Okay, so we get a ring if we do that. And then we'll head out. Talk to this guy and he'll let you through. Hook shot across there just to swap with those things and make our way through. Up the stairs and up the stairs again. We get a seed there and we'll head out. Into the door on the left. And we're going to activate this warp portal. Burn the tree there, you can talk to this guy, I'll give you heaps of rupees. Alright, bomb the rocks here. And we can get a seed from the chest, we'll head over to the right now. Okay, bomb the wall there and you can get some more rupees from that. At this point, it's probably a good idea to go back to town and spend your rupees soon. I'll be doing it very soon in this walkthrough, so you can do it when I do it. But you're going to hit a cap of 999 soon, so if you ever do that, it's a good idea to spend some of them. Otherwise, collecting them won't really do anything. Keep swapping yourself with these seeds here. And it'll grow a vine. You can plant the seed and head up the vine into here. Now we have like a little mini game. So we're going to play the mini game various times to get various prizes. So if we go through, we win this thing. Next prize is a big rupee, so we will do that as well. Get a gaseous seed, so that one's worth getting. We'll do that. And then we're going to head out. If we do this, we can get the boomerang. So the boomerang's the real prize that you want here. So make sure you play till you've at least got that. There's another gaseous seed, so I'm going to play for that as well. So this is a really good opportunity to get some gaseous seeds if you can. So that's just what I'm doing, is stocking up on a few of them. Once you've done that, I think I got 3 gaseous seeds in the end. We just walk back and go into here. So this is another mini game here. I think we've played this one before. It's the blue ones are good and the pink ones are bad, and purple ones. So you want to play this. You play it again. So we got the gaseous seed there, and we can head back to that tree and just chop down the seeds from it. Walk back to the present and into this cave. You talk to this guy. And walk back. And talk to him again. Alright, when you're ready, walk back up to this tree here that we jumped down from before and back into the present. We're going to go into this cave now. I'm going to talk to this guy. So pretty much you're dodging the bombs there. And we just want to play that one once. Alright, activating this portal now. Alright, back through the door here. And we have to dance again. So go through that as best you can. And we talk to him again to play it one more time. Alright, once you've done that, just heading out. And through the waterfall and into the next dungeon. So bomb the wall to the right. You have to kill all the enemies in this room to spawn a chest with a seed in it. These candles you have to light. Just watch out because they do explode once they run out of time. Do this to open up the wall, and we're going to head left into here. Keep heading left. Up here, lighting the candles, waiting for them to explode, and opening the door on the right. So if you've got the sword upgrade, you can kill those guys. If not, just chuck like bombs at them or something. When I say sword upgrade, I mean if you've got full health, the sword will shoot beams. So that's handy for killing enemies from a distance. And with this, killing all the enemies in this room, and we'll head back down. Actually heading out of the dungeon again. And we've got to warp to the present now. And back into the dungeon now. Alright, use your shooter to get the thing in the middle of the room. Alright, now to get the key in this room here, you got to go to the jar and pick those yellow seeds, and then just sort of put it down here, and that'll spawn a chest in there. Once you've done that, keep going. Just activating and deactivating the floors to get through as you need. Swap with these things and bomb the bottom wall. You want to basically hit each of these blocks with the color that's necessary, and you'll get the key. Swap with these objects again and make our way back up. You got sort of two wheels there nested in each other. So go back up that wheel and then back down. You'll get a key from that, and then we'll head up here and then reorient the wheels like so. Alright, you'll come across this guy. So you would just sort of fly in from the edge. You want to try and sword him when you can. Alright, throw the bomb across the gap there, and then use your hookshot to get across. And back through the warp here. So we can swim in the deeper water now. I think it's this point in the game, your swimming controls change, so you're going to mash the D-pad to swim rather than A. And then it's really confusing when you do the linked game because you're swapping between swimming controls all the time. But if you ever can't move in the water, try mashing the D-pad and that'll help. With these two switches, one of them, well, you basically just got to pull them and heaps of snakes will come down. You've got to deal with those. And then eventually the boss key will come out. I think there's some randomness to that one. Yeah, when you're ready, jump across here, back through this cavern. Place the block to get back across. And then back out the dungeon, we can dive through here to get a ring. And then head out the door. We want to go back through that portal we came from and into the waterfall again. Back into the cave in the past. Light the candles again. And into the deep water, we can dive underneath that with B, I think it is still. Alright, up through here, grabbing a key. And we want to go through the underwater cavern. Back up through here. Alright, going through here, place the block and push the jar thing down onto the other one, up into this room again. And go up through the wheel, just reorient it like so, so you come out to the right. And we want to dive through underneath here. Grab some rupees there. And swap the blocks so that they all end up on here. There we go, and that spawns a chest with a key. We're going to head back out. And up here, use the cane to put a block on the switch, and we get a boss here. So with this one, it's a matter of hitting it with those yellow seeds, just as it goes around there. And you can follow it underwater and hit it with more seeds. Once you've done that, that's the dungeon finished. Alright, when you're ready, head back out. I want to go through here and warp to that town in the middle, the main town. Play a song here to get it back to present. And we want to go into the mystery shop. This is what I meant by spending some rupees. I got heaps of rupees there, so I'm going to buy those 2 items in the mystery shop there. Warp back to the past. And we get a cutscene for going here. Alright, go down here and hit the switches. These guards will catch you, so you got to wait till they're not facing you to go and touch all the switches. And there's 4 switches around each bit of the courtyard, so he's hitting all 4 there. Go through here, slash the grass to get through, dive underneath, and we're going to dodge the whirlpools. And go back up the stairs here, and we're in the castle. So work your way through. You want to get a ring from that chest there. Off to the left. Right, we come across this bit here. So we want to equip the green seeds in the hookshot, and you've also got to use the sword. So it's a matter of hitting it with the seed, then hookshotting the ghost, then swording the ghost. So you do have to do a bit of swapping between things. Anyway, you get a big cutscene here. At the end of this whole cutscene, you'll spawn next to the tree there, and you can actually go up it to grab a seed. Or a couple seeds even. Head back down. And we'll go into the ring shop here. We've got a whole bunch of rings to appraise. And you've actually got more rings that you can equip in your item slots now. You can still only wear one, but you can carry more with you because we've just upgraded that throughout the game. Alright, we're going to go and swim through the ocean here now that we can actually get through. Dive down in this bit and then up into the cave here. Talk to this guy, we get a shield. When you're ready, swim out, and then you can warp back into the center town here and go back to the present. Want to open up that rock and dive down through here. Up into this bit, we get a piece of heart. And then go back to where we came from and resurface. Here we need to swap it into the past. And you'll notice that statue is missing an eye. That'll be relevant soon. Warp up to this down here again. And we've got Maple there. Maple may show up at a different time for you. Head up the stairs here. And we want to change time. You might notice we can change time back and forth however we want now. You want to plant the seed there. And then change time again just to head back through here. Lots of time changing to navigate various bits of landscape. There we go, we've got another seed spot there. And walk back to the center town here. We're going to head down and left pretty much. Change time. And then going to this bit, just going to the left. I'm going to change time again up here. And dive down underneath, use your hookshot to get across and resurface there, change time again. And we're going to the left. Change time once you get up here. And dive underneath, hookshot across, and we're in the Zora area now. So swipe that tree to make sure it's a warp point and then go in here. Just up to the left is some rupees. And then we can change time once we're up here. Swipe the tree again. That activates the warp point in both times. And you want to talk to the king there. So you'll hopefully have one of those medicines from Maple, if possible. If not, what you can do is run into Maple a few more times and you might get one. Alright, back in talking to him again. And hitting across to the right here. You want to resurface and change time there. And talk to this guy. Back across to the right here, we can use the key to get in here. Alright, you want to talk to this guy at the top. And then come back out and change time again here and head back in. Now this puzzle here, you have to read the books. Now the path is actually different each time. So even if you like had save states on you where the path was or anything, it changes. So you actually do need to read the books there. Alright, talk to the fairy here. And that'll sort of clean up all the water in this area. All the gross poisonous stuff goes away. Come out of this and change time. Hang back down to the left. You want to go and talk to the king again. Once you've done that, just resurface here and off to the left. We can get a seed out of that chest. Change time once again here. And we can plant the seed there. Alright, so we're into our next dungeon now. Just swap some of the blocks around so they look like this. And we want to resurface up here. Grab the map there. And we'll go through here. Use a key to open up the stairway. And you can hit that switch there. You get a rumbling effect. Down the stairs here, and we're going to drop down this hole and swap with a few jars to get across. Grab the key out of the chest and we'll swap with that to get across here. You can just use your cane to place something on that there. Those anti-fairies in that room, you can hit them with the boomerang and you'll get an actual fairy out of them. So that's good to restore your health and also to get them out of the way. Hit that switch and then come back out. I'm going to swap with a few things to get across. Deal with these guys. You can hook shot them or sword them or whatever you want to do. Alright, down through this underwater cavern here, we're going to go to the right and we get a mini boss. So just basically jumping and sorting it is how you deal with this one. The ladder will spawn once you've done that, and we can head up here. This is similar to the hook shot, it's just a little bit longer. Once you're up here, just going across and swapping with that jar to get through. Alright, hitting that switch there again. And we'll go down these stairs and drop down this gap here. Swap with those to get them through, and you want to place that on the button and use your cane to place a block on another button. Swap that item there, and when you go up the stairs, you can swap with a few jars to get across and swap with this thing to head back down. Hit that switch there, and swap with these to get up. Hit that switch there. Once you've done that, just heading across here and you get this chest with another key in it. We'll head down here. Alright, grab another key from this room and we'll just head back out. I'm going to swap with the jars to get across. And up through here, just swapping with the jars again. I'm going to go up into this section once more and just through the key door there. You can get a seed from that bit. And there's a whole bunch of keys you need to use. We get the boss key through that bit now. And drop down through there. And into the boss room here. So you got a hook shot here. Basically just swapping with it every now and then. You basically get it to hit itself with its own attack there. and then you get the heart piece, and that's the dungeon done. Alright, we'll get a cutscene here, and we'll finish up the dungeon. Alright, once you've done that, just head out. Alright, play your instrument. And we can head into this cave here, grab the ring. Once you're out here, just dive down and talk to this guy, and then resurface up through here. We'll go into this bit and grab the ring there. And you're going to come across a boat eventually, and if you don't come across it right away, just keep going around these screens and you'll find it. Alright, warp into this middle town here and head off to the right and then down. So we got the other eye for that thing. And we're just going to go through here. Charged up sword attacks are pretty good against those guys. Go through here, just bombing the rocks and making our way through. There's like an invisible path there. You can jump straight across though if you want. Up through this bit now. You don't need to kill any of these enemies. So just work your way through. And up into here, Ancient Tomb. So we're going to push that statue down and bomb the wall to the left of it. Grab the key from here. Down through the key door, swap the things onto there and cane the other one. And then Ember Seed the torch up there. We're going to go down the staircase. Off to the left here with that wheel. And grab the key. And go down through there. And down again. Once you've done that, bomb the bottom wall. You can dash past those things. If you're really quick, you can avoid them. Otherwise, just wait. Hit that thing there. And go left on the wheel. And left on this wheel. Go up through here. Hit the switch and left again. And then right. Left on that one. Right through that one. And then right through that one. Hit these floor tiles. It's a similar puzzle of what we had before. I'm going to go up here walking on the top of the red ones and then up across the blue ones on the top. Down through here. Now we get a little boss here, so basically just slashing it as it comes across. This is similar to the admin fight in Link to the Past. If you played that, you like hit his projectile back at him. Alright, grab the item from there. Yeah, I'm just going on those pots trying to get some more items, like some more Pegasus seeds and stuff. Then we're going to go up through here. Alright, hit that block in so that it's blue, and then up into this room, watch out for the tiles. And down through into this room. We can open up that wall there and jump across. Watch out for these guys, and then we're going to head up. Taking the minecarts back to the left there, and then heading up into this room, lighting all the candles. And down through here. Just riding the water currents through this way, and down and right up into this water cavern. Get another one of those blocky items, and then up to the left. Keep on going through here and pull that thing to stop the lava. It'll be very quick, so Pegasus seeds to dash across when you stop lava. And grab the statue there. So you'll notice we got the upgraded power bracelet thing, so that'll let us lift up the statues in this bit. Alright, getting through there. And we're coming across this boss here. So it's a matter of hitting him with Ember Seeds there, and then bombing him when he comes back down. And also pulling those and then hitting him by like recoiling them back into him. And there we go. Alright, we'll get our cutscene and head back out of here. Lift that thing to find a ring, and then we're going to walk back to the top left of the map. There's Maple encounter here. Maple has a piece of heart, so make sure you get that on this save file. And if you can't, just kill a whole bunch of enemies and find Maple again. You'll notice I cut down that tree to get one of the gaseous seeds with like a ring in it. So you can go back to any of those trees that you planted throughout the game and get more rings. Again, I won't be getting 100% of rings, but I will be showing you where all those planting spots are for if you want to go and play through a few different linked games and get all the rings. There's not really much point because you have to play the game 3 or 4 times. Anyway, eventually in one of these trees is a piece of heart, so make sure you got that. And you should have full hearts at this point. Okay, up through here. And talk to this guy, and we're just going to appraise any rings that we got. Okay, heading up here. And we want to go to the tree. You'll notice that we're sort of cleaning up like 100% stuff. We're about to be done with ages, and we'll move on to seasons soon. Okay, to continue on, we're just going to head down here. Turn it to the past. And down into this section. And once you've done that, just talk to these guys and we'll keep heading through. Into this tower here is sort of the end of ages. We'll be coming up very shortly. So just dash past all these enemies. You don't need to kill them or anything. Up through all the stairs. And if we've got all those items, this cutscene will play. And we're going to go up through here. I'm just following this very mazy section now. There we go, down through here. And up into this section. So a cutscene will play out, then we'll head up into this room here. So we've got to use the green seeds and then the hook shot to the ghost and then slash the ghost again. This is the same as the fight we did before. So yeah, green seeds, hook shot ghost, slash ghost. That's essentially the loop of this fight now. Alright, so just sword this guy as he comes through. And you can use the feather to jump over any hurdy bits. And we get a cutscene playing out as we're leaving the castle. And we get grabbed here into this fight. So you can basically just charge up your sword and slash the turtle. And with the spider, you want to bomb the spider. That's pretty much how that fight works. And then we get a cutscene playing out as we leave. Alright, so that's more or less the end of ages. We will come back to this game a couple of times, but we're going to start our linked game. So we're going to be playing seasons soon. And the way that you start that is you just wait till the end of the credits here and you're going to get a code for linking the games together. So there we go. And then there we go, secret. So make sure you save and quit. Make sure you've written down that code. Your code may be different to my code, so just be aware of that. And then we can pretty much boot up Oracle of Seasons. So I'm going to reset now, we'll swap to seasons. Alright, we'll make a start. You'll notice the game has changed on the bottom right of the screen there, so we're going to be swapping back and forth a lot now, so try and keep track of that as we go. We're into seasons now, and you're going to go secret rather than new game. I'm just going to enter the code that we got at the end of last game here, and then that'll let us start what they call a linked game. So we'll start with some goodies. We'll get various different like cutscenes and interactions in a linked game. And we get the best ending to the game by doing this. You have to play both to get the best ending. It's got this whole like twin rover plot thing associated with it. Anyway, we'll go through. We spawn on this bit here. We get a little cutscene play. And we're going to go to the right here. Talk to this guy down the bottom. And talk to the blue person and then the people over here. And we're going to talk to Din on the log. And we'll get a cutscene play out here. Alright, so after this cutscene, you'll wake up here. And just head down into the town. Going to go into this building and talk to this guy. And you want to plant the seed that he gave you there. Straight into the ring shot. I didn't do it out here, but you can actually transfer your rings into this game. So just be aware of that. We'll do that in a second. Out to the left here. We're going into this cave. Drop down through the little secret entrance there. And then we're going to go out, off to the right again, and into the shop here, grab the seed, and we can head up here, and we wake up this tree. Once you've talked to it, drop the thing that it drops on the ground and head off to the left again. You talk to this person at the fountain. So we get a secret from that person. And we're going to swap back to ages, so make sure you saved and quit from the pause menu with that secret. So now that we've got that secret, we can actually tell it to somebody in ages. And so the secrets work by basically giving codes between the two games. When we tell the secret to this person, they'll give us a code to take back to seasons. So the place you got to go is into the forest, over to the left here. Tell them this secret that we just learnt. Once you've done that, they give you another secret to take back, so write down that code and we'll save and quit. And now we're coming back into seasons this time. So we actually can't cash in that secret quite yet, but we'll just hold on to that for now. So make sure you got that written down. Your secret may be different, like different letters to the ones that I've got. All right, go here, plant the gaseous seed. And we want to go up here into the first dungeon. Now this game's a lot more combat based, so you'll notice the dungeon's much less puzzly. Grab the map from that chest. Push the block over to the left, and then push the blocks out this way. Over to the right here, just hit that switch and grab the compass. So we're making our way back. Onto the minecart. And across here, just back for the chest there for the bombs. Going to hit the switch there and grab the key from the chest. Bomb the top wall there. And work your way through with the key. With these guys, just keep hitting them, you'll get through. Push the block over to the left and we get the bag there. A lot of these items that we get, you'll notice will be the same as what we got back in Ages. But we're gradually rebuilding. The cool thing about a linked game is you actually start with 4 hearts, which is quite helpful. Push the block over to the right, light the torches. So yeah, with the bag, we've got ember seeds now, so you can light torches and stuff. Go through this door, and pretty much just keep slashing at this boss and you'll get it. That's the end of that dungeon. Alright, coming out of the dungeon here. One screen to the right, you'll very likely come across Maple because you've killed enough enemies at this point. Burn that bush on the left, and this guy will give you a few rupees. Then drop down into town here. We can go back into this building and bomb the right wall, and get a seed, and then head back out. That tree's grown, so I'm going to get the nut from the tree. And down here. Light that torch there. And talk to this guy for some more rupees. We'll head back up. Alright, off to the right here and then up into this building. You want to talk to her. So this is the trading quest again. Now, the funny thing is you technically don't need to do the trading quest. The trading quest in this game unlocks a path through the Lost Woods. I will do the trading quest to show you how it's done though. But technically you don't need to. Like if you already know the path. Anyway, go up and you'll see this person. You're basically just playing a stealth game here. So you've got to avoid them seeing you in all these screens. You're ready, off to the left here and go through the portal. So this is sort of like an alternate world in this game. We've got to do dancing in this one. So following their movements. And once you've done that, just head back out. Down the stairs here and up into this bit. So we're about to get the Rod of Seasons, and that rod lets us change between any season we want. Now we'll unlock it one season at a time. So we just got to go and unlock, I think it's winter first, just in the bottom right here. So go through there, use the boomerang to hit the switch, go up here, get the cutscene, and we can now change it to winter. So the way that we do that is we have to go onto a tree stump and change it from the tree stump. You can't just do it anywhere. Okay, once you're ready, heading up to the left here. And we're going to go up here, back into that warp portal, back to the main world. Talk to this guy. And we can jump onto the stump and use the rod to change it to winter. There's a spot to plant a seed there. I'm going to head up here. Sometimes the season will change back when you go onto a certain screen. It won't always stay as winter. Jump here and change it to winter now again. And just go into the chimney here. Go and talk to this person. She gives you the shovel. You can use that to dig snow. We're going to head down a couple screens and change it to winter again. Off to the left here now. And we're going to go up here, knocking down the seeds from that tree and climbing up onto the stump. Change it to winter. And in here, you want to talk to the fairy. She gives us a secret there to take to back to Ages. I'm not actually going to take that secret back quite yet. I'm going to wait till I get a second secret and sort of do them in bulk. Just because we can't really cash in the secrets yet. There's no point doing too many. Otherwise we'd have heaps of game swaps. Alright, back here. This room has a whole bunch of rupees in it, so that's always nice. And then you just head back out. Knock these guys into the pit. And knock those guys in. You can sort of knock them backwards with the bombs. Back off to the right here. Push that block to the right and you'll get through. Grab the key. Now you need to equip the power bracelet to move those things. And then once you got that on, you can move them across. Talk to the Deku guy who will restock your bombs if you want. And bomb through there. I'm actually going to talk to him again on the way out. And just buy some more bombs from him. Push these to the left. And make your way back up through. Bomb the wall to the right and down the stairs. Dodge the thwomps and the mini thwomps, and then use your power bracelet to push those across. Grab some rupees and head to the right. Power bracelet again. And power bracelet to lift the jars too. This face, you've just got to bomb the face as it comes up. You can sometimes get 2 hits in if you're quick enough. Otherwise, just get 1 hit in each time. Open the key block and off to the right here and down. These platforms will be moving around, so just get the boss key up the top right and then head back out. Once you've done that, just lifting those pots for some bombs and also to bomb the bottom wall. With these guys, you can just bomb them and then head down through the boss door. Now, with Dodongo, you've got to throw a bomb into his mouth, and then when he's all stunned, you pick him up with the power bracelet and throw him into the spikes. There we go. And that's the end of that one. Alright, off to the left here, once you've exited the dungeon, you'll run into Maple there. This is part of the trading quest, so do make sure you've run into Maple. Turn it to winter and head up through. Turn it to winter again, head off to the right. Shovel that and get through. So that's another secret that we got. So we should have 2 secrets written down at this point that you haven't used yet. Well, 3 technically, 1 from the other game. And then heading back through the trees here. And down through here, that tree has grown, so we'll get the nut from that tree and get a ring from it. Or hopefully a ring. Up here and just across there. Get a piece of heart in this cave and down the stairs now. Off to the left here, go to the ring shop. We can appraise some rings. Equip any rings if you want to, then go to the stump and change it to winter. We can hit this tree to get the seeds from there and bomb the wall on the right. Over here we've got a chest here. I'm actually going to save and quit. Alright, back to Ages. We're going to cash in those secrets that we got. So once you load into your file, just into this town here. First one we've got is down this way. So there's not really a lot of point putting the secrets back into Ages, because at the end of the day you've finished this game at this point. The point is you get some secrets back. So here's the secret we're telling to Tingle. And then he gives us a secret back that we can enter back in Seasons. We're going to warp back here and go to the top right of the map. And we want to change the time. Go into this door here and we talk to the person on the left and give her a secret. Once you got the secret, you can just save and quit. Well, get the secret back and then save and quit. Alright, back into Seasons now. And we're finally ready to actually cash in these secrets. So just heading back into this house here. And we're going to just swipe down some more seeds as we go. Now you should have gotten 3 secrets from Ages so far. The 2 we just cashed in, the one we cashed in much earlier before. You can enter those 3 secrets in here. So that's what I'm going to do. First one we get just spawns this chest with the heart in it. Second one we get seeds. There we go, ring box. So that's pretty much how the secrets work. You just trade them back and forth between games. Alright, go up here, we get a cutscene. And heading up and to the right. Use your power bracelet to lift those. And we just got to take care of these guys. Alright, heading up through here, you can hit that tree and activate it as a warp point for later. This guy has the boxing gloves from the kangaroo, so you got to try and box him and put him out of the ring. Off to the left here. And we actually come across the kangaroo, so we can give him the boxing gloves, and we get Ricky's flute. Alright, jumping across the gaps here. There's a few soil spots that we need, so we can put a seed there. And there was one more, but I'm actually out of seeds at this point, so I can't plant it yet. You can hop up ledges with the kangaroo, much like what we did back in Ages. And we're going to hop up here and off to the right into this house. Just go down here and hit the switch to get across. Just moving all the boulders and stuff out of the way. Now we're going to work our way through here, talk to this guy, pay him the money, and also hit the key to unlock the water there. Alright, we can go in there, and the water's shallow enough that we can sort of just walk on top of it, change it to winter, and then grab Ricky and go down. Up the ledge here, up this ledge here again. Now, you can charge up a punch attack and use that to like hit things from a distance. So that's how I got across the gaps there as Ricky. Alright, we've got another warp portal into here. And by warping in at different spots, we can unlock different things. So that beach, you've got to find the star. If you don't find it right away, you can dig in basically these 4 screens. So the one that I'm on, the one to the left, the one down, and the one down left. The star is somewhere on those screens, so just dig up for that. I'm also digging up for some iron ore stuff. So this is like the currency. So pretty much what I'm going to do is dig around a lot of these screens and just grind out some money. When we're ready, head into the market. You definitely want the ribbon and you definitely want the heart piece. And then you can get bombs and a ring. If you've got enough money for it, that is. I'm then going to grind out some more. So keep going, just digging around. I'm going to get quite a bit of money actually. When you're ready, go on and buy that ring and the seed. Again, you can buy another ring. Well, you can actually buy heaps of rings in here. I'm also buying some Pegasus seeds just so I can move around the game quicker. Alright, go up here, we give her the ribbon. And then we take her this way. And across here. Alright, go and open up this area, throw all the boulders out of the way. And then we go up here and we've unlocked another season. So now we've got summer that we can use as well. Alright, once you're ready, head back out of here. And back down and to the left. You can go back through the cave now. And take the warp portal. We'll jump back on Ricky and use your charge up punch to get back across the gap here. I'm going to go all the way up here. And jump onto the stump, change it to summer. So you have to hit it twice to change it to summer. And then we can get into here. So summer will grow vines up the wall, and that lets you access areas that we couldn't access before. Different seasons will do different things, you'll notice. Like with winter, a lot of the lakes get frozen, so you can just run across them. And a lot of the trees get smaller in winter. Okay, grab the key from there. Just exit out of the room once you've done that. Move the block up. You're going to take care of these guys, bomb the top wall. And grab the dungeon map. Push the blocks out of the way, and you want to push these ones down into this pattern. So that matches the pattern on the top wall there. Once you're ready, head to the left and up through the key door. Take care of all the enemies in this room. We get the feather, that does the same thing it did last time. You can use it to jump. So jump across here, fall down the gap to the left, and through the cavern, up the ladders, and up through the warp there for the compass. Well, it's like a trampoline, so you can jump on it and hold the jump button. Once you get into the new room, you want to hold up and away from the hole so you don't fall back down. This trampoline you want to push to the left and then down and right. Basically push it to that highlighted spot on the floor and you'll jump up for a key. Back down the ladder here. So we just want to get across the gap there. And up this ladder now. Jump across here. And push the pots out of the way. Again, push this pot down so that it sits on the switch and down through this door. And you want to jump over the switch there. You don't want to hit the switch on the way in this room down here. And then through this door now. And we got a boss. So basically you lift these guys out of the water and throw them and then slash them. That's how you beat this one. Okay, once we've done that, stairs on the bottom right. And we want to jump across these little springboard things. Grab the boss key from there and then head back right and down through the warp portal. down through the stairs again, up the springboard things, and into the boss door. So with this one here, you basically just slash away at it as it comes near you, and then you should be able to handle it. And that's the dungeon done. Alright, when you're ready, head down, change it back to summer. And down through here with Ricky, you want to jump across the gaps there. Use the Pegasus seeds as well to make those bigger jumps. There's like a gold Octorok thing there, so you got to kill that. There's a task for killing 4 gold enemies in the game, so that was the first of the gold ones. Pretty sure it gets you a better sword once you're done, so it's definitely worth doing. Talk up here, we get a secret, and we're going to save and quit. Back in ages, we'll cache in this secret, so just go here, walk back to the main town, change it back to the present. And up here, just over to the left into this house, and we tell her the secret, and we get another secret back. Once you've done that, we want to head down through this section and catch the dog there. The dog will be somewhere around town, so it may not be on that screen. Just search town and the surrounding screens. You also want to talk to this snake here. So this snake will tell you a secret to take your rings across the game. So the lady that we just talked to, she doesn't give you a secret directly, but she gives you a ring which you can then transfer back across. Alright, back to seasons now. So we're not going to directly cash in that secret at the secret place, but what we can do when we get to the ring shop again is put in the ring code, and we'll get all the rings transferred across. It doesn't get rid of the rings we already had on this game, it just sort of transfers and puts together your collection of rings so far. Ride Ricky back here, jump across the hole up the top, hit the switch to activate the bridge, and we're going to head back down to town. I'm going to cash in those rings in a second. So down here, into the ring shop, you can talk to the red snake and give him the secret that we picked up from the game. And this will get us all the rings. So once you've done that, make sure that you've equipped all the rings that you want and everything. We can also appraise any rings we picked up so far. And we had that power ring from before, so that'll make us stronger as well. Okay, out of the ring shop now, and we're heading back up through this bit. We activated this bridge before, so we can just head across that now. And call Ricky. And then he can make his way across here. Use the charge up punch ability to get across big gaps like that. And then we'll head down here and into this cave, talk to this guy. And then we'll make our way back out. Alright, so into this town here now. Very watery, this town. We're just going to head up here and get the Gale Seeds, so that'll let us warp around the game again. And it also activates a warp point for this town. So we have another animal buddy that we're going to come across here who can do swimming for us. And he can go up waterfalls as well. So just go up these waterfalls here into this cavern. You want to push the statues like so. And you want to charge up a sword slash by holding the sword button and slash all statues at once. Talk to this guy now. And we'll learn the ability to swim better. Jump onto the stump and change it to summer and swim up these vines. Grab the chest with the seed in it and head back down. Go up the vines on the right. And we got a spot to plant a seed. Heading back down here, you can actually dive down this section with B. And we want to open up this chest with this guy in it. When you're ready, walk back to the town we were just in and dive down again into this cave, which we can get the item that he left on the top. Warping to the bottom left of the map here, well, into the main town, we're going to go into the tree here. And the tree's grown a bit, so every time it grows, it'll have more seeds and stuff on it. And into this area now. I'm going to go up to the windmill, talk to this guy, and he gives us a secret. And I want to walk back down to the main town. And into this bit here. Throw all these pots out of the way. Push the one over to the right. And you basically want to push this one down onto the other switch. Use your power bracelet to push these things aside. And down here, push the 2 pots on the switches to get through. This cave's actually one of the things we do at the very end of the game, but we're just going to go and get a secret from this Zoro guy here. That's the only reason we're in here right now. Grab the key and just jump across to the Zoro person. He gives us a secret there as well. And we can actually save and quit now. Alright, back in ages, we're going to cash in those 2 secrets we just got. So one of the 2 secrets, we just warp up to the top right here in the past, turn it to the present, We can go and get a seed there if we want, if you haven't got that one yet. We're going to go talk to this guy. We give him the secret, but he also wants us to play this game again. So you talk to this guy and play it. I think he wants us to get a perfect score as well, so make sure you do that. And we talk to him again. You have to talk to him right after you played the game. Walk back to the Zorro village now. You want to go in here and actually talk to King Zorro, who we can give a secret to. Now that we cashed in those 2 secrets, with the sword upgrade, we can save and quit. And we're coming back to seasons now. Alright, so exit the cave, walk back to the main village, and we're going to cash in these 2 secrets here. So those were the 2 that we literally just got in ages just then. So there's the first one. And we got a sword upgrade, so that secret definitely worth getting there. Want to walk back up to this town. And we get this little interaction with the Moblin guy. So swimming across here and up into this tower. Okay, so grab the power bracelet to throw the bombs back at him. You have to hit him a few times normally, and then he wants you to, well, he doesn't want you to, but you have to hit him while he's holding the bomb, and he drops the bomb backwards and blows up his lair. You can go and bomb their house there as well, just by throwing a bomb at the pile of bombs, and then you leave the door. Alright, heading down through here. I want to go up into this section, talk to this guy who will give you a secret. Save and quit. Alright, coming back to ages now. Just exit the Zorro place and just go back up here so we can warp. Warp to the island here, down the bottom right of the map. And talk to this guy and give him a secret. And he wants us to play this game again here, just to lock in that secret. Once he does that, he'll give you a secret to take back, so we'll just save and quit now. Alright, coming back to seasons, we can walk back to the main town to cash in that secret we just got. And there we go. Whooping to the town on the right again, and just onto this tree stump, we want to change it to summer and go left. You dive down this hole with the B button, and then just go to the left out here. Climb up the vines here. You want to climb up the stairs, and we can drop into this warp portal here. So jump up across here, these guys will steal your feather. And you want to go back into where they're hiding. Sort of chase them around. This is a stealth thing, very similar to what we did earlier on in the game. So just try not to get spotted by them. You have to follow them around for quite a while. Alright, and they sort of bury it there, so just grab the shovel and dig the feather out. Then we can head back out. Jump over here to get the seed, and then we'll head out of here, down to the stairwell. Grab another seed from down there, and up into here, and we unlock another season. So this will be spring that we get here. So it's sort of like bouncy flowers that you can use, which only appear in spring. Back into the warp portal, onto the stump, change it to spring. And we want to talk to the bear here. And grab this flying guy. I think if you hold the button, he flies up high, so that's how we get up there. And get the fruit for the bear, and jump across here as well. We get a ring in this section. Go back to the bear and talk to him, he'll be very happy, so he lets you utilize him to get across here. Ride the bear to the left here, and use him to jump across the gaps and grab that key. The bear can ground pound as well, so you can ground pound away those snow blocks, and then head up here. Up through the stairs, and drop down. You talk to this guy here. And drop down through here. Ground pound with the bear to get back through. You want to go back to the stump and change it here to spring, and that'll activate the bouncy flower over here. So that lets you go up. And dive down through this bit, just off to the right now. Grab the rupees. And we can head back through. Go back to the stump and we'll change it to winter. And just walk along the snow there, get up across through the stairs. And we can ride the chicken thing across. Coco, I should say. And drop down here. Change it to summer and we can use the vines to get into our next area. So grab the bombs from the chest here, hit the switch on your way through. go through and bomb the right wall. You want to get rid of the pots in this pattern and then use the rest of them to go onto the buttons. So you should only have broken one pot normally, and then the rest should be alright. You can actually step on the last switch there. Okay, move this statue up onto the button. Push the blocks out in this fashion to get through. Grab the map from the chest there. You want to go up here and just jump across the gaps. This room will go dark, but you can still see it usually. We're going to save and quit there. And we're not actually swapping games there, we're just saving and quitting to get back to the start of the dungeon. Alright, push the block to the side and you'll get the chest there. With these rollers, you can dive under the water with the B button to not get hit by them. Hit the switch on your way through, and then ride the thing back. Get the key by diving under the water there. And across here, you want to use the key to open this. Go up here, just get the pots for more goodies and upgrades and stuff. Across here, grab the key. And you've got these guys. So you've got to keep lighting the torches and try and attack the real one there. Bring the cart across here and go down and left. Push the statue to the side. Keep dashing along there because the floor will break. So you got to use your Pegasus seeds to move faster. Up through this room. And ride the cart back across, lighting all the torches on your way as you go. Drop down through here, and you want to get the chest there with the key in it. Dropping down into this room. Hit the switches with the projectile launcher as you go through. Dive in the right bit of water there to get the boss key and ride the cart back up. Go through here, hit the switch there again and ride the cart to the left. And you have to kill all these enemies in here. And use the key to get through there. Light both torches with the projectile shooter. And similar here, we're into the boss room there. So with this one here, you've got to hit it with the ember seeds and then the sword. And then that's the dungeon done. Alright, once you've done that, just down the vines on the way out, you got a piece of heart as you drop down from the dungeon. Walk back up to the top middle of the map and down through here. Lift up that, you want to change the season. So this is summer now, jump across the gap and bomb the wall up there. We get a little upgrade in that box there. Off to the left now here, we want to drop down these and go down into here. Talk to this guy. That guy will tell us how many gold enemies we found. You do need to talk to him there. Once we found all 4, he'll give us a sword upgrade. Alright, up through here, we want to get the chest. And going up and to the left into this section. Jump onto the tree stump, changing it to spring. And back down through this section. You can just dive under any enemies that are giving you trouble. There's a piece of heart there to get. And we can sort of walk back into the top middle of the map there. Lift up that rock with the power bracelet and down jumping over these holes. There's another warp portal there that we can use. And then we're going to go down here. Jumping across all these bits and we can pick up the bomb thing there. Once you're ready, head back across. And we want to go over to the left now. Lift up that rock and you can use Pegasus seeds with jumping to jump across. Want to go up and to the right here, talk to this guy who can blow up the rock there. And this is going to be how we unlock the very last season, Autumn. So in a lot of seasons there are these mushrooms blocking your way, but in Autumn those mushrooms go away. Or you can pick up the mushrooms in Autumn and get rid of them. So that's sort of the last season and the last thing that it does. Okay, so back across the gap here, we can talk to this guy. And he tells us a secret, and we're going to save and quit. Alright, bringing that secret back to ages. So we're just going to walk back here into the middle of the map. Just go up into this house here and tell that secret. And we get a secret to take back. Well, we get a ring. So what I'm going to do is actually appraise all my rings and then use the ring code again. So with the rings, you don't get a secret to take back, but you essentially can by having the ring code. Alright, coming back into seasons now. Just exiting out here. Into the market, we can get that down the bottom left. If you need more money to buy stuff, you want to shovel the ground near the market. Grab her and go up through the cave onto the left here. Into this building here. We go into this key door to grab the seed. And go up and to the left now. Into this building for another seed. Over to the right here, dropping back down. And I'm going to go up into that warp portal. Warp around, so grab this tree and go to the ring guy. We can enter the ring code from before to get all of our rings back. And that really just has the extra ring from the secret we just did. I'm also going to appraise any rings that I still need. And we'll list up the rings. Okay, off to the left here into the shop. You want to talk to this guy who should let you through. You can buy the bag there. Alright, dropping down here into the water. Now, this can be a little bit confusing. It doesn't let you into the water off the bridge, but it does let you while you're actually in the water itself. So you want to shoot an ember seed down and that will keep the bridge growing. You then want to use the green seeds on this thing and you get the X-shaped jewel from that. I'm going to head to the bottom left of the map here now. And we change it to autumn where those mushrooms spawn. We've also got a gold enemy to kill. Jump onto here, we want to change the season, again to autumn. I'm going to go across here for a seed. Go up through this section here, you want to dig the dirt, that's a spot to plant a gaseous seed. Change the season again, we're going to go up through here and into this boulder bit, down through the ladders, and we get a piece of heart for doing this. Go up through here now. Jump onto this again. I'm going to change the season once more to autumn and then we can get into this bit, which is our next dungeon. Okay, continue through, just down this door to the left, and we want to get the compass from that room. We want to go to the right now, ride the right minecart up and hit the switch on your way through. And hit the switch again on your way back, which will open up this path now. Alright, go through here, killing these enemies and getting the dungeon map. You want to go into the water on the left and through this door. Now we get the magnet thing so we can pull or push objects to or away from us. So that's going to be used in a lot of puzzles from now on. Want to push yourself away from the S block and that'll let you cross the gap. If you want to swap between pushing and pulling, you literally just use the magnet and it swaps each time you use it. So deal with that guy just with your sword. Suck yourself towards the S block with the magnet. And then we want to dodge these Bowser guys and push the statue down. Deal with all these statues here and make sure you open the chests in the order that you killed the statues in. Pull the block towards you and pull yourself towards the S block. Go here and pull those magnet things there, and then you can sort of swap to repel halfway through and it pushes you back across the gap more. Push this block to the right and then ride the minecarts down again. Take the warp there and you want to go and hit that switch. Alright, across here you want to pull that like sphere thing towards you there. And then pull that one onto the button there. Now the reason you pulled the sphere, it's so that you can hold it in front of you and not get hit by that fire there. So that was really the goal when we did that. Alright, pull up to the S block and across to this one. And then similar thing here. Just heading back out and to the right. Down the stairwell here, pulling up to the S block and repelling away from the S block. And then into the boss door there. So you want to pull this spiky ball towards the boss. And then it'll break into lots of pieces, so you can pull it around there some more. And then we get the flame. We get a bit of a cutscene on the way out. And then we can warp back here to the town on the right. Get the warp seeds down from the tree again and dive through this bit with the B button. Heading up through here. And climbing the vines. You got Maple here. So Maple can sometimes drop rings like what she's done there. Over to the left, lifting the boulder there and burning the bush to get 300 rupees. Always very good. Swing through the cave here. And activate the tree there. And plant the seed. Alright, go and talk to this guy. As part of the trading quest. Talk to this guy in here. He gives us a secret, so we'll save and quit. Alright, we're going to cash in that secret now. So just load back into ages. Change it to the past. And we want to do a warp around up to the top right here. Change it to the present. And walk up there. Change it to the past again. And go up to the left. Talk to this guy on the left here. Give him the secret. He gives you a secret to take back. Well, you got to play this game with this sword first, and then he'll give you a secret. Okay, once you got that, you get the secret back, and we'll save and quit. And we're coming back into seasons now. Alright, exit out of the cave here, and walk back to this town. You can cash in that secret now if you want. I'm going to do it a little bit later. Talk to this guy. And we're going to fly back to the main town. So I'm going to cash in that secret now. There we go. And we get the sword. That sword's not super useful. It takes 2 hands, so I tend to not use it that much. But it's there if you want it. It's a bit stronger than normal. Okay, talk to this guy. And then warp to the town on the right again. Diving through this cave and then going to the left now. Climbing the vines, and we'll go to the right onto the stump. Changing seasons, and then back to the left. And talk to this person, and we get another item for the trade quest. Alright, going up here. And we get another item there. And we can go back in here to buy a magic potion. Alright, heading up here into this bit. Another item for the trade quest. And just going up the stairs here. You want to talk to this guy for another item. And walk back up here. There's a tree there, so we're just going to slash that tree, and then we're going to keep progressing on upwards over to the right and then down. Since it's autumn, those mushrooms you'll be able to pick up, so you push those out of the way, and we get a ring from this cave here. And then down through this bit. Head up the vines and across to the right onto this stump, and we'll change the seasons again to autumn. Plant the seed there, and we're going to drop through this warp portal. Once you've done that, just heading up and left. Use your magnet thing to get across here. Get a ring by shoveling the ground there, and jumping across the holes here. Pick up the rock and use your magnet to get across. Use your magnet across here and magnet across here. Grab the item from the chest there. Magnet repel across the holes. And you want to go into the left bit here. Talk to this person. Should put the ore in. Okay, so grab that out of the ore thing. And back over to the left. So I'm going to jump across the gap here and then go up through this cave. I'm going to talk to this person. And you say the second option, the do not. They almost speak in opposites, those guys. Anyway, you want to walk back up here. And just drop off the cliff here. And into this room. Alright, once you've done that, walk back up here. And you can put these 4 things that we found in the doorway here. Now, this section has a big puzzle with like season changing heaps through it. Move that statue up, drop down. Change back the season to winter, walk across, so you can get up the ladder now, push those 2 statues onto the lake, change the season again to autumn, get the mushrooms and go back down. Use your shield to repel the thing back to that Deku guy and then talk to him. Winter here has one of the golden enemies, make sure you got that. Go back. And we're back into autumn, so throw the mushrooms out of the way. With this tree, burn the tree. This is the last item on our trade quest, so he tells us a secret path through the woods. Now, with this path, you've got to get the right path and the right season. So swap it to winter and go left. Swap it across to autumn and go left. Spring and go left. and then summer and go left, and you get that sword upgrade. So that's what you get from the trade quest. Winter and left. You want autumn with down, spring with right, and summer with up. And we go up through here. There's a tree there which can act as a warp point, so make sure you slash down the things from the tree. Go through the gap here to get a seed, and change the season again to winter. Digging through there, and you can plant a seed and push the statues out of the way, go onto the stump and make it spring so you can get up here and into here. So this is our next dungeon. Okay, bomb the wall on the bottom. We can get heaps of rupees from this room. And over to the left again. I'm going to go up here into the wheel, go left, and pull the magnet ball towards you. And you eventually want to get it across here onto that switch there. Wheel can take you down. And I want to get the map from that chest there. And ride the wheel up, and then push the magnet block up there. You want to get rid of all the crystals there and grab the key out of this room. Jump across the spikes and back out. Wheel can take you left. Get rid of all the snakes in that room, and then you can push the block to get the door open. You can push the block again to get the door open, and then take the wheel right. Use your key to get up here and grab the compass. Then you can just jump onto that switch there and go down the staircase. There's bombs in that one, and you can get through the wall on the bottom. Push the trampoline over to the right here, just onto that gap there, and then jump up it. Go down here. You want to get the boomerang. Now the boomerang is really good against these enemies here, so you can use that to take care of all them. Drop down the hole here, and you want to go up the path this way. Get rid of all the crystals there, and go up into the next room. With the boomerang, you can steer it by holding the boomerang button and using your D-pad. So steer it into those switches. Here you want to light all the torches on your way up, and go through here. Get the master key. Up in the top right there, grab the small key and ride the trampoline back up through this door now. And we get across this boss here, so just charge up your sword and attack him as you go. Off to the right now. Jump over these things so they don't hurt you, and down onto the right switch there. Well, actually, I think the switches are random. One of the two switches gives you the staircase. Hit those switches with the boomerang. Move the trampoline off to the right here, and you can hit that switch and then go through the boss door. So you basically just got to use your boomerang to go around and hit whichever mouth is open, and then when it opens up you can slash it with the sword, and that's that one done. Alright, you'll warp out of the dungeon here, off to the main town, and Maple will show up. Go and talk to the ring guy. You can appraise some rings and add any to your list that you want to do. Also give in a ring code if you haven't done it yet. Talk to the pirate down here. And you want to warp back to the town here. You can magic boomerang across there to open up this warp portal. I think it's possible to open up the portal from the other end, but you can magic boomerang there, so it's fine. Take note of the code that they did, and you got to enter that same code on the statues here. So it's a matter of like pushing up against them. If you walk into it, it'll do the statues. So you just copy that same code that we saw. Plant the seed there. And we want to drop down here. Alright, go through the underwater cavern. And up through the ladder there. And into the ship. You want to talk to this guy. And then head up. Talk to this person and bring the skull across. So this skull will let you know which sand to go down. For me it was that one. I'm not sure if it's always the same one, but the skull will indicate which one's good. Okay, push the block up. And into this building here. Go into this place and say the second option to them. Back up through this warp portal here. I'm going to warp back to the main town and go through the portal again. Talk to the pirate. And you'll get this cutscene play out. So the ship basically spawns on the main world. Okay, and that lets you get across the gap here. Alright, so once you're off the ship, just go to the left here and plant a seed there. Going to go across to the right and grab a ring from the chest here. Burn that tree, and we want to get some rupees from the guy. Talk to the ghost, he has a secret. And we're going to save and quit. Alright, entering the secret in ages. So back out of here, we want to warp to the town on the bottom right. And swim around here. Sorry, maybe in the Zora town on the bottom left, my bad. And then you want to read these codes and talk to the guy who you can give the secret to. There we go, and he gives you a secret to take back, so we'll just save and quit there. Alright, moving on into seasons. Go and bomb the wall to the right, and then we'll go down here. Use the tree stump to change the seasons. And head down here off to the right. There was a gold enemy there, so make sure you killed that on the bottom right there. And we can change the season back to summer. Now that we've actually killed all 4 gold enemies, we can go in here and get the upgrade from this guy. Alright, back into the main town, we can appraise some rings. And equip any good rings we got. From beating the 4 enemies, I think I had it wrong before, it's not a sword, but it's a really good ring that makes your attacks stronger. So make sure you equip that ring that we got from that. Okay, we can enter that secret that we got just before. And then we'll head back out of the tree. Over to the left here where the ship was. And across the ship. Back into here. We want to go and change the seasons again. It's time to summer. And zip across here, up the vines, and into this section. Alright, heading up through here. Now those rooms you have to get out in time before the torches go out, so make sure you're being really quick. You can use the Pegasus seeds if you want to go a bit faster. When you're ready, through this door here. Now with this one you have to light both torches, and this ghost will come out and try and attack you. Once you've defeated it, those torches will stay lit, so you don't have to do that room under a time limit. Okay, ride the trampoline up, hit the button, and back around. You want to activate these statues and push the real one onto the button. Get rid of the pots there, they've got lots of good items in them. And you can repel away from the magnet to get across here. Hit those switches in the same order I did, and you should get the statues working for you. Okay, push the trampoline in and then out to the left and then up. You want to ride the trampoline up here to get the map, and then back down. Talk to the ghost there, and then you've got to attack it. That'll get rid of that torch curse again. And off to the left now here, you've got to kill all the enemies in this room. So use bombs or boomerangs and stuff if you can't do that. Attach and repel away from the magnets here. Ride the trampoline up. And the left trampoline up as well. Grab that chest. That's just going to upgrade our jumping ability. So we got the cape. So if you use and hold the jump button, you will do a little glide as well with it. Very, very useful item. So now we can just basically glide across the whole game. Kill these enemies. You can do some damage to them with like the magnet. Makes it a bit easier, but I was just able to sword those magnet guys pretty successfully. Okay, here you can either jump over or dive underneath. Open that one up with the key and head down through this room here. Back and up and around. Go through the door here, hit the switch, push the block. And we get the ghost here. So through this room and through this little maze of staircases. Heading up through here, we can repel away from the magnet blocks to get through here. And just heading up into this section. You got to kill all the enemies in here and they'll drop a key, then just head back. You can push this block out and that'll let you get back a lot easier. Jump across there and then down through here. Hit the switch in the same orders that I did, so I might slow that down. So yeah, you need the cape to glide across, but it's bottom, top, middle. Anyway, go back up through, you can ride the trampoline up here. Hit these switches like so. And then back down. Then we can go through into here, taking care of all these enemies. And we'll get the boss key. Dropping down and off to the left now. We can make our way back through, back the way we came, up through all these staircases. With this one we can just go on the boss door to the left. And this one you literally just sword the boss across through to here and we're done. Alright, once you're out of the dungeon, you can just go back through here. Up this way, through the door that we bombed earlier, changing the seasons. So we want autumn this time. And now that it's autumn, we can just head back out here, into this cave here, pushing the boulders. And up here, there's a mushroom there that we need to lift and get a piece of heart. And then walk back up to the top of the map. We get maple here. Go back up into this section. And we're going to go over to the right now. Up through the staircase. And we can bomb those rocks and get another ring. Alright, you can attack that tree. Again, this game will have one of the pieces of heart stuck inside one of the trees, so you just got to watch out for that. I'll be getting that a little bit later. Change the season to winter now, and across the gap here into the portal. You want to go up through here, throw a bomb into there, and that'll detonate the volcano. So play our little cutscene of everything happening here. That'll change some features on the world. Just going to make our way up through here and bomb that wall to get the piece of heart around there. Go onto this stump here and change it to summer. We can grow the vines here to make our way across. And up the staircase, up through here. Okay, go up the stairs here and into this bit. We get a cutscene play out. And we're into this dungeon. Okay, so grab the key from that first room there, heading across here into this door. I'm going to bomb the top blocks there, and then to the left, pull the magnet ball across, and you'll get a key. Jumping through the stairs here, and just watch out for the lava in this section. Going up and across there to get the compass. And through the wheel here, just riding up and then down. And you want to activate that guy, and then work your way through. You'll get the map there. You can pull the ball across like so, and then go through the door on the right. Activate all the statues so you can push the block out, and then we're going to go through the stairs up through here. Move the wheel to the right and get the key. You want to ride the wheel back up, and you want to go across there with the magnet block. Alright, now you got to hit all 3 statues at once there. So yeah, hitting those statues was an upgrade that we got before. Basically stand right there and you can shoot it 3 ways and then you'll get the statues. Alright, bomb through the blocks here. And push it out of the way to get the key. Back up through the stairs and through this door here. Okay, so this guy here, you use the green seeds to change him back there, and then you want to throw the ice at him. That's essentially what you want to do. Alright, use the red seeds there and hit all 3 statues at once, and then work your way up through here, hitting all the torches. Push the ice like so. There we go, and that'll activate a staircase to head across. Alright, up through here, we want to hit the switch to activate the bridge. And then work our way through here, use the magic boomerang, hold the boomerang button, and then steer it with the D-pad to hit the switch there. Hit these guys into the pit and then through the door to get the boss key. Across to the left now. And we want to bomb the wall up the top. Now, this statue will make a path which you've got to follow. I think that path does change each time. Grab the crystal there and throw it into the gap. That'll stop the lava from flowing in this room. Head back up, grab the next one. And you can toss it into that gap there. Again, you'll stop the lava from flowing. Back to the right now. And grab this one here. Hit the switch and then ride this back. You can chuck it in there, stop the lava. Ride the cart back, hit the switch again, and then ride it back down. Down the stairwell, and then grab the key. You can go down this stairway and grab the key from there. Down here to get some more bombs, and then up, riding the cart upwards. Go down through here and up these stairs. Grab another one of these crystal things. And then take it through the key door and ride it down here. Chuck it in that gap. and drop down through here. Going to go up and around, open that with the key, and then up through here. So basically just charge up your sword next to this one, and then you can attack it like that. Alright, next we're just going to head out of here. Up this section and dropping down into this map here. Now seeing Maple here, we get the piece of heart from Maple. If you haven't got that piece of heart yet, keep going and killing enemies until Maple appears. I'm also going to this tree here, and this one happened to have a piece of heart. It actually looks like you lose some hearts when you get the Maple heart, but you don't. It actually adds an extra row to your hearts when you do that. Anyway, talk to this guy, you can appraise all your rings. As you might tell, we're getting towards the end of the game. We're just cleaning up 100% with hearts and rings and everything. I got to the tree here. And that'll activate this whole thing. We'll back out. You just want to go down to this section and off to the left. And go up into this season area. Cool. And now that we've done that, we get this cutscene play out. Okay, so we spawn into this area and we're going to go into this castle now here. Bomb the face here. Head up through this bit. Now with this guy, charge up your sword to hit him. And then you want to use the season rod on him. And then use his hand to get up there. Make sure your sword is charged up. And then basically just keep hitting his head. So you want to have the cape and the sword equipped there. Just like that. Okay, now that we've done that, we get this cutscene. This basically warps us into the final dungeon, but we've got a couple of things to get for 100%. So just hit the warp again to get out. And we're going to go off to the left here. And we're going to do this cave here that we were in before. So we got a code here just earlier, but take the warp back to where we got the code from. Up through the key door, you want to hit all the switches here to get across. Push that thing with the power bracelet. Make your way across there, hitting the switch and getting that out of the chest. Across here, just onto that thing there, lighting the torch and then heading down. Push the blocks like so. And light the torch again with your slingshot thing. You want to get rid of all the enemies in the water here to drop a key. Go through here and bomb this stuff here, lighting both torches and through the warp portal. Use the magnets to fling yourself across the gap there. With this one here, you need to use the boomerang to get all of them to be red, I think. Yeah, all red. And then make your way through. I'd start with the back ones on that and then move towards the front. Use that ball there and take the warp through. Move the pots like so. It's a pretty tricky pattern there. And you're onto that. You want to hit all these switches. Basically each switch brings down a new wave of enemies, so you've just got to deal with those as you go. There we go. That should be all of them, so they drop a key. You can actually use your magic boomerang to skip that whole room. And with this room, you've got to open the chests in the order that I'm opening them to. It's based on where the dungeons are in the game and like what order you did those. So we get a ring coming out of there. And we're just going to head back to the main town. We'll get that ring appraised. And you can see there I haven't got all the rings. Basically what you need to do to get all the rings is play the game through a few times, getting all the gacha trees. So I'm not showing that just because it's very same-ish. You just play through it until you like get the random luck to get all the rings. With this dungeon here, it's whatever way the eyes aren't facing. So you can see there are none that are facing right. So I'm about to head through to the right there. And that's how you get through this bit. We come across Zelda. And we're into this battle here. Okay, so we start out this battle here. Just trying to hit him with the sword where we can. Alright, so the green seeds you need. And you can keep hitting with sword and green seeds. and they go into their next bit. So this is Ganon. So yeah, basically just charge up your sword and wait till he phases in and then hit him with that. And there we go. And I sort of just did a pause menu show. So yeah, when we get up our stairs, 100% should look something like this. Okay, talk to Zelda. We got cutscenes to finish out the game. And that's pretty much everything. So that'll be all for this video. I hope you found it useful, and thanks so much for watching.